We're live.
Hi, everybody. It's Zach Shue, PowerHouse Fence Show.
And Dan Turbyville. I'm here as well.
Hello, Dan.
How's it going, Zach?
Pretty good. It's been a while.
It has. It has.
What's been going on? I know a little bit, but why don't you share with our viewers and listeners about what's been going on with you?
Yeah, so you may have noticed for the past couple weeks that we've just kind of replayed some older episodes. And what's been happening is I got pneumonia. And so today is day 18 of me being sick. It is actually Thursday, so when you see this, it'll be today. So yeah, 18
Tell us
days.
a bit about what pneumonia is, because I heard obviously during COVID's high time, I'll say people were contracting pneumonia in conjunction with and dying, and ultimately, my impression was that as a young, healthy person, you wouldn't be grossly affected by it.
Yeah.
And so when you told me, and then I just figured, well, 3 days from now he'll be backing up, and it's been 18. So I guess I had an idea what I thought pneumonia was, but now you've got it and I've learned a little bit more, and it's more severe than I thought, I guess.
Yeah. So pneumonia can kill you. It's like,
and you don't have to be 75 years old.
Correct. So I think it's, can be like a real deal sickness. And so from what I understand, I'm not a medical expert, right? But from what I understand is pneumonia, you have like little air sacs in your lungs. That is when you inhale is where your air goes. And when you get pneumonia, those get full of fluid. And so when you try to breathe, the air doesn't actually get into your lungs and the oxygen doesn't get into your bloodstream.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you went to one of the small grocery store clinics first. Is that where you went?
That's right.
So I guess I'm just thinking take your health seriously, because you thought you had something more serious, and they were kind of like, it's a respiratory infection or whatever. Well, upper respiratory infection is what they always say.
Yeah.
That means I don't know. Here, take these antibiotics and go home.
Yeah.
And hope for the best.
Yep. So I went into, like you said, a grocery store clinic. And I haven't been to a real doctor in probably 10 years, right?
Right.
I just don't really go to the doctor. I go get a DOT physical every couple years, and past that, I don't really go. And so the reason I went in there, I don't know, graphic words warning for anybody that's listening. The reason I went in there was actually because I started coughing up bloody stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe I should go see a medical professional about this. And my idea of that was going to the grocery store and going into sorry.
I'm sorry.
Gave you some privacy.
Well, yes,
thanks.
I made a commitment to try not to make you laugh. It's hard. I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'll be more serious going forward.
That one snuck up on me. I'm going to try to not cough directly in the microphone at least. But yeah, so I went to the grocery store, and they gave me some antibiotics and said, oh, you got an upper respiratory infection. Well, what was going on is when I coughed, it was like gargly sounding, right? So it sounded like I was kind of being like waterboarded and was coughing or something crazy.
Yeah, right.
And so me being the extremely intelligent individual that I am, I went back to the grocery store again.
I like how we're just calling it the grocery store now.
Yeah.
I don't even go to a doctor. I saw this lady near the vitamins.
Right. So I went in there and I asked him what kind of vitamins I should take because I'm dying here. I need some good vitamins. And so kind of realized that wasn't working. And then I decided maybe I should go to the real doctor. And so for the first time in, about 10 years or so, I went to an actual physician.
Yeah.
And
again, I think this is a grand lesson in, one, trust your intuition. You thought you had something wrong worse than vitamins.
Yeah.
And then secondly, take your health seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, if it seems serious, then do something about it. And I get that, man. I'm pretty reluctant.
Yep.
I think the last time I had any kind of illness, I was like remanded by my wife to go to the doctor. Only when she made me the appointment, I think, is when I went, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually the second time I went in the grocery store, I saw a different medicine woman. And
the person they were wearing a lab coat. I
right.
mean, I thought they were, you know, medicine woman.
Yeah. And so she actually was kind of like, I'm going to give you some different antibiotics, and they probably should have given you this the first time. And yes, I agree with your idea that you have pneumonia.
Right.
Instead of this upper respiratory infection. And so then, yeah, a few days later, I was like, I'm still not really getting better. And a lot of shortness of breath, a lot of coughing and hacking and gunk up and all of that. And I mean, my voice is a little bit rough now, but like man, a week ago, it was it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So there was no way that I could do this a week ago. I couldn't sit here and talk in front of cameras or anything.
Hence the reason haven't been on air.
That's correct.
And that's why we're here to tell you that's what's going on. And
That's right.
so, you know, whatever you got, prayers and sympathies and however that works.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I go to the real doctor. And this,
yeah.
So I went in there. My heartbeat's going crazy. My oxygen saturation is super low. My blood pressure is super low.
What did you say? You told me it was like 86.
Yeah.
Is that right?
My oxygen saturation.
Which I thought 86 out of 100, that's a B, man.
Yeah.
You got good grades.
Well, it was pretty alarming to the medical professional.
Right. And these are things, I guess I've not had any experience with. So to me, I'm kind of like, that sounds all right. But apparently just a little low for oxygen level is pretty low.
Yeah.
A little low is low.
Yeah. So like, they were kind of like, 92 is kind of like, 94 is okay. But really you want to be like in that 96 to 100 range. Yeah. And so,
blood pressure high, oxygen level low.
Blood pressure low.
It was low.
Yeah. Blood pressure low, oxygen low, heart rate was like super high. I mean, I think just like getting out of the vehicle and walking across the parking lot, my heart rate would get to like 140.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, so went in there, she threatened to send me to the ER. And I mean, I think I was in the doctor's office for like 2.5 hours. And over the course of that time, she made me drink a ton of water and gave me breathing treatments and everything else. And she kind of was like, I'm going to give you some medicine and let you go home. But if you get any worse, you need to immediately go to the ER. And so took my medicine, went home, crossed my fingers, hope that didn't happen. But it's pretty crazy.
Not cross your heart, hope to die.
No.
Oh, that's what I thought, where I thought you were going.
No, cross my fingers,
that's a different saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely cross my fingers. Hope that didn't go that way. Said my prayers, all of that kind of stuff, And so I've been to the doctor like 5 times now. And so I went and saw her again yesterday, and she's like, well, you definitely sound better. You're breathing way better. Like things are heading in the right direction. So I'm on my, I think, 4th rounds of antibiotics now. And,
did you ask her the most important question, which I'm sure our audience, everyone's on the edge of their seat. When can we go back to doing live podcasts?
I know. That's what I've been trying to get her. I'm like, look, you don't understand. I
have to go lady?
Live on Thursday.
Live at 5. I went in there. I talked to her. They wouldn't let me stay there very long,
So I'd like to talk about the cause of it.
They said Dan's okay. Don't stop worrying about Dan. Live at 5. Who is this live at 5 guy? Get him the heck out of here.
I told somebody, I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to tell him.
Live at 5.
Pretend I'm an Olympic athlete and I have to compete in 3 days. Give me that regimen of medicine. Right. What would you give me then? So, and the people at the grocery store, as it turns out, are not qualified to provide medical care to Olympic athletes. So that didn't really work out.
Right.
But anyway, so what happened? I soldered. We have one of our wheel loaders. It has a joystick in it. And one of the switches went out in the joystick, and they want like $1,600 for a replacement joystick. And you can buy the switch to replace in the joystick for like $10. Sorry. I know. So, yeah, I got the switch, soldered it in there, sitting in a dark closet with no air movement in my house. Brilliant idea.
So
And
you did you do this in the house for real?
yeah,
I thought you were doing it in the shop the whole time, and I thought, why are you so worried about you may have inhaled this because your shop is relatively open?
no,
I mean,
I was in a closed room in my house. Instead of going like out in
that's
my shop and all that, no, I just did it in the house.
man. Rule number one to avoid getting pneumonia: don't be a dummy.
So
Don't solder in a closed room.
yeah,
Don't go to a real doctor.
don't go
Take
to the
your health.
grocery store. So yeah, I soldered it in the closet, closed door, no air movement. And about 4 hours after I soldered this thing was when I started getting a fever. And so the doctor told me yesterday, she said, "Well, that makes sense." And she said, "You very well could have inhaled some of the stuff or whatever." But she said, "Also, there's a decent chance that you got chemical burns in your lungs. And that's what caused the pneumonia. And that's the reason why it's taking you so long to get
I've
over
heard
it."
that called chemical pneumonia
Maybe.
from inhaling something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. When
Okay.
I was a teenager, I used to burn a lot of incense,
Mm.
literal incense. This isn't code for anything. And my stepmother was a nurse practitioner, and she warned me about over inhaling incense and the prospect of developing chemical pneumonia. I guess from
From the incense. That's crazy.
abrasive to the lungs.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
that wild?
I don't know if it's just coincidence that I happened to solder at the same time or if that really is what it is, but could be. And because I've kind of been the same. I'm like, man, why is it taking me so long to get over this crap?
Yeah,
Like I'm not the fittest, healthiest person in the world, but I'm also not 80 laying in a hospital. I
or
don't.
have pre-existing conditions.
No,
You don't
none of
have
that.
what's it called?
Asthma?
Yeah, asthma. You don't
No
have
asthma. No.
you don't have Darth Vader.
Yeah. No. No diabetes. None of that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Not yet.
not yet. But
So that's what's been going on.
yeah.
And I just been holding it down,
Yeah.
playing the heck out of the PowerHouse Fence show guitar.
Fortunately, we have a team here at Memphis Fence that was able to pretty much keep running. And I've been here a few times. I've worked at the house a lot, just kind of staying on top of the things that I have to get done. And some other folks around here, like I said, they've stepped up and kind of just ran with it and, have been getting some stuff done in my absence. And I'm definitely grateful for that. I appreciate everybody here. And yeah, you gotta take care of yourself. It's crazy. I did learn the lesson. Just go to the real doctor the first time. That would have been a good idea.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was actually looking at some of our cigars the other day. I was like, I'm just start freaking chain smoking some cigars and just get rid of this crap.
I don't think it'll do the inverse of that.
Sounds
Oh,
a
you
little
think that's
wonderful.
bad?
It'll perpetuate this crap,
When I came up here,
exacerbate this crap.
when I came up here Monday this week, I was like, I'm done laying in this freaking house. I'm going to work and I'm either going to get better or I'm going to get worse and just go to the hospital and let them get it over with.
Right.
I don't know what they do for you at the hospital, but it was one way or the other. Something was happening. I was done laying at the house. So,
Yeah, I know that feeling. And then you go for 3 hours and you're like, I'm done.
yeah, exactly what happened. And then by Tuesday, I was like,
3 hours is all I got in me after all.
I think
find out.
on Tuesday, I told Claiborne, I was like, I shouldn't even be here right now. And so I went back home and laid down. But man, it's crazy. Like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm done. I'm just out of gas. I cannot go anymore.
By gas, you mean O2.
Yeah. Well, I'm out of that all the time. I'm probably out of it right now because I've been talking so much.
Right. That's right.
But anyways, that's pretty much it. That's what I've had going on.
And
So-
me? Nothing.
Just doing the thing.
Normal, just everyday things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I do appreciate everybody here that's, carried on and just kept on trucking in my absence. It's pretty cool to see that. Not that I intentionally want to not be here for weeks, but when something happens, you never know.
That's right. Well, thank you guys. Hang in there. We'll return with a updated episode here soon.
Hopefully next
A
week.
new one. Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week.
I think I'm on the downhill side, obviously. So yeah, I think hopefully next week.
So thanks everybody for tuning in, listening, watching,
Hey,
paying attention.
I do want to give a shout out, or I don't know. I want to talk about something real quick.
Let's hear it.
So the Fence Business Conference, Tony Thornton's event coming up in December.
Yes.
If you have not seen the lineup of speakers that's going to be there,
Are you
go
on
check
it or
it out.
something? Is that what's happening right now?
No. Although he did have one speaker with a blacked out, redacted kind of. And I was like, wait a minute. Is that me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not one of the speakers.
Yeah, I think you'd know if it's you.
I think.
And where is that happening again? Please remind me.
Branson, Missouri. So I think I definitely will be there. And I don't know who's going. I might try to take a person or two from here with me. And I think it's going to be an awesome event. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If you haven't seen it, go check out the lineup of speakers. It's going to be good. And, it'll be a good crowd there. And then, of course, you have the whole conversations that happen after the fact that we've talked about several times that will be something you can't put a value on. So check it out.
Cool. Tony Thornton's Fence Business Association Summit.
Fence Business Conference.
Fence Business Conference.
To be podcasters, like, I swear we're the worst at talking about events.
Fence Business Conference. You say the date. December.
I think it's like the first week of December. I don't know the dates off the top of my head. Sorry. But if you go look on Facebook, it's posted multiple places and multiple times. So
good deal.
Yep. Check it out.
Thanks again, everyone. Thank you, Dan, for making the effort to speak.
Thank you, Zach.
Knowing that this is probably paining you just a little bit. So I know it's uncomfortable. So thanks again, man. And thanks, Ilaria, for holding it down behind the scenes.
Of course.
We will join you guys here soon with a new episode.
Oh, wait a minute. How do you say pneumonia in Italian?
I don't know.
Pneumonia.
I think it's polmonite.
I don't know. I got that one.
I think polmonite.
Polmonite.
I think so.
Okay. Well, there you have it. It's maybe the Italian word for pneumonia. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.